Last episode on Create Adventures, we built a ton of starter farms to get started with the Create mod. In this episode, we build an iron factory, kelp farm, and some other stuff along the way. But, you know, you'll have to watch the video to find that stuff out, obviously. Like, come on, I love money. And with that being said, get comfy, grab some snacks, and let's get into this video. Welcome back to Create Adventure. What? Okay, one of the sheep got out. So, today's episode, I've done a little checklist. Today, we're going to be building a kelp farm for conveyor belts, making crushing wheels for crushing stuff. We're going to build the outside of the iron factory. In said factory, we're going to make a cobblestone generator that can route into a cobble to gravel setup, which then goes into a bulk washer and splits into both a flint block compactor and an iron nugget to iron ingot to iron block compactor. So we're going to be compacting a lot of stuff. How are those sheep getting out? Can you guys stop? Are they like jumping on top? What is that thing? Dear G-Outros, thought you might need this. I've been watching Mr. P. That's not at all. What is this? Everlasting beef? Bro, I just killed so many of these cows. Not consumed when eat. This thing just lasts forever. Can I? It cooks. It cooks. Okay. Wait a minute. Who's Mr. P? Who's what? This is a single player world. What is going on? I am so confused. Oh, it's done. Okay, mysterious steak aside, we need to get back on track. Let me just put all of this away. I'm gonna keep this steak on me. Feels illegal. All right, so for this kelp farm, I wanted to go with like a little fisherman style build, like a little fisherman's hut around this area. And I don't want it to be too big because realistically, I've made kelp farms on my worlds before, and I've ended up with thousands of conveyor belts that never get used. So I'm never gonna ever need those. I'm just gonna have a nice hut with a tiny little bit of kelp on one side, maybe a mechanical piston pushing and pulling a contraption that will mine them all, and then a portable storage interface that can just take all of the stuff out of said contraption. That's actually gonna be so simple. I also got the replay mod now, so you guys can see me building this thing in some cool montage, I hope. Hey, editor G-Outros here. Replay mod just like completely corrupted. So for any like time lapse that I tried to set up in this video, it's just going to skip until it's built. It's not ideal, not what I wanted, but I'll try and make some sort of montage. Sorry again, I'll unpause time now. Let's get to work. Okay, and we're done. It's getting us tons of kelp. Cool, cool. All right, bedtime. So now that we've done that, I can mark off the first thing on this checklist. I'm thinking that we have the iron farm over there across the bridge, you know, to slowly industrialize this beautiful landscape. That's the goal. So with a little bit of editing magic, I'm going to cut it perfectly so that it's done immediately. Boo! Did I scare you? I also finished the bridge. And now that I've got this bridge, we can get to work on this area. Now, as beautiful as it is, I really, really, really want to go for some like big, smoggy, dirty factory for this one. I'm thinking I might use granite in some way. Just kind of look like the soot all over the place. And not the type that will bite you. I'm going to do some sketches for designs, and I'm going to figure out exactly how I want this thing to be. I do want to incorporate the way that the terrain is now, though. I think maybe like some storage bit outside here, and then up there, the actual factory. The big chimney with smog coming out of it in the form of glass or something. I don't know. Let me get to work on some designs. Okay, I think I have an idea. It's nighttime now. So, as bad as my sketching abilities are, I can sort of make a vision from it. I just realized my fan's been on in the background for, like, so much of that. I'm sorry if you've heard a fan in the background. I'm gonna make the factory out of blocks like granite, limestone, maybe some other stuff. But all of this is going to be on top of a set of tunnels in which there will be item vaults that I will get when the actual factory is working, because I am not mining for that much iron, because item vaults are really, really, really expensive, and the entire thing's probably going to be out of stone, because I have a ton of stone. But before we can do any of that, I'm going to need crushing wheels, which means I need more of these things, mechanical crafters, which honestly shouldn't be too hard to get. I've already got 9 of them. In total for the crushing wheels, I'm going to need 21, but their crafting recipe really isn't that confusing, so I'm not really that worried. All I need is more brass casings, crafting tables, and I literally think that is it. Yep, 21. So, now that I've got that, we need to make it like a circular type of machine. I might need to cut off the power to everything else for this thing to work. There are a lot of mechanical crafters. Let's test. Oh, it actually works, don't I? Thank God for that massive windmill. Right now, I believe it's planks in the middle, type of stone in the center, and andesite alloys for everywhere else. And hopefully it should start crafting. Oh my God, it is. I don't know why I made it in such a weird way, but they're gonna come together. Oh, and crushing wheels. We can tick off crushing wheels for crushing stuff now. Next, we've got to build the outside of the iron factory. The stress impact is high, so it's probably gonna need its own windmill. But this entire factory is probably gonna have its own power source anyway, so we're chill. Right, I'm gonna steal something off Mr. Beardstone completely for this bit. So to start, we're gonna need a cobblestone generator. The cobblestone from that will be routed into crushing wheels, which will then give us gravel. I didn't have any gravel. We're gonna use andesite instead. The gravel is then washed. We're gonna... That represents washing, leaving us with flint, which is then turned into blocks of flint through compacting, and iron nuggets, which will compact into iron ingots, and then iron blocks for, you know, easier storage. But to begin, for the cobblestone generator, I've decided to use Triopian's design, because it's the one I've used on all of my other worlds, and to be honest, I just don't really want to build another one. I know this one, and I know it's efficient, and I know it's somewhat easy to make, and for the amount of cobble I need, I don't even need a massive one. So I'm going to clear out some land so we can actually make this factory, and then we can get to work on making all of the stuff inside of it. Let's go! Alright, we've got this massive ass plot of land to work with, and I just thought it'd be a good idea if we built the separate parts of the factory before actually building the rest of the factory itself. I know for a fact that storage is going to be down here. I'm going to work it into item vaults in some way, shape, or form. And up here, we're going to need a cobblestone generator, crushing wheels, washing things, a lot. That is why we have such a big plot of land. So, I do not have the materials to afford any of this. It's time for a mining trip. Don't worry, I did it all and got it all off camera. No, seriously. I recorded little snippets just to prove that. While I was down there, I fought chests, got cat slippers, spent hours of my life getting virtual items so I could build a virtual iron farm. But now we actually have the stuff to make one. I noticed in between the takes that the replay mod just wasn't working. So instead, I'm just going to build this thing like Legos in a matter of seconds. And there we go. It's working. It looks very funky. Just need to switch these two at the back. And yep, it's going into the vault now. We have... Oh my God, it's making so much. I have made a mistake. I don't know what though. That's the really worrying thing. It's going everywhere. Lagging out the world. Just everything. I'm gonna turn it off for now. Just because I can't deal with that. Let's start work on the actual factory bit instead. So it'll come out of here into some crushing wheels. The gravel will then be washed on this conveyor belt. This represents the fan for now. Once it's washed, it'll go into this storage drawer. I don't know why I don't have a storage drawer there, actually. I'm gonna go and make one. I have no excuse not to have one. I have an infinite wood farm. Into the storage drawer it'll go. Out of the storage drawer this way will be the iron nuggets, compacted into iron ingots, compacted into iron blocks, and then ending up in another storage drawer. Alright, this way will be the flint, turning into flint blocks, much smaller than the iron side, like half as many compactors. And I've just now realized that I hate how this thing looks. It is so messy. I'm gonna like rethink this entire design. Okay, that should be a lot better, a lot less space being used. I'm not gonna have some really weird looking factory. Now all we need is to finish the fan and hook this thing up to some power, and hopefully we'll have a working iron farm. Use some sails. That is fantastic. Fantastic. Windmill joke. Let me hook you up to this power, and I'm going to make sure everything's going in the right way. That's going to be so annoying. I can confirm it was really, really annoying. But now hopefully it should be... How did you get in there? Hopefully it should be working. Gets crushed into gravel, and then it should get washed. Wait, there is no filter on that thing. Okay, wait. Filter is there, and okay, wait. It's making compressed gravel. I didn't even know compressed gravel was in this pack. Why are you making compressed gravel? Okay, that problem's fixed. Now it should be making flint blocks. Yes, from supplementaries. Oh my God, that is beautiful. And the other one should be making iron blocks. I still don't know what was up with this thing. I'm gonna cross that bridge when it comes to it. But now I can tick off all of these other ones. Cobble So gravel setter, bulk washer, flint block compactor, iron block compactor, all of it. Which means now it's time to start actually building the outside of the factory. But it is like 3 a.m. where I am right now. So I'm gonna get some sleep and we can tackle that in the morning. Rise and shine, sleepyhead! It's building time. This is the part in the video where a time lapse would have been if the replay mod decided that it didn't want to just up and not work on me, but it's completely fine. It's completely fine because I'm just gonna really abruptly cut to when it's done. Definitely still needs a big pipe at the side, but I'm gonna do that in a different episode because I do not have the glass capacity at the moment. We also get this one tiny piece of dirt. That is spectacular, and I'm fairly sure that this means I can tick off build outside of Iron Factory, and that means we've done everything we need to do in today's episode. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna come check how much. Okay, we have 34 blocks of iron and 900 blocks of. We have 8,100 flint. That is crazy. I'm gonna need to incorporate that into some builds somehow. That is an excessive amount of flint. So, interior tour. Bit all over the place, I can't lie. The main bit is here. Back here, we've got the windmill. Upstairs, we've got some lights. I was gonna do like a floor up there. Might still do it. Like I said, this building isn't completely finished. I think for building things like this, I'm gonna really need a jetpack in the future. That is probably like priority number 1 on my list right now. I mean, I've got all the mechanical crafters for it. I really don't see why I couldn't. Why don't I just do it right now? Bonus! Jetpack! So for a brass jetpack, we need steam engine, which is like making a precision mechanism, but there's also a propeller there. And instead of an iron nugget, you use an andesite alloy. So, steam engine! 6 brass like that. Steam engine in the middle, andesite alloy at the bottom. 3 cog wheel. No, I placed 1. Finally, 2 encased fans, and hopefully, with a bit of luck, you should get a brass jetpack. Okay, and let's just go fuel this thing up. You just hold Q with coal in your hand and the brass jetpack in your offhand, and then fuel goes into it. But for it to actually work, you also need water, so you just do the same with a water bucket, and then you're good to go. Oh my god, it looks so cool. I feel like Iron Man, except I look nothing like him. Now if I hold space, oh my god, I'm flying. So the flying isn't like creative flying. You just sort of hold space and you get propelled in a direction with, you know, steam power, because create mod, ooh. I believe if I hold shift, I can just sort of hover in place, which makes it very useful for building. But with that, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We did everything that was on the checklist today. Next episode, I am going to... I'll make it up as I go along, you know? I have absolutely no clue what I'm going to do. But to see that, you're gonna have to like and subscribe because this episode is unfortunately over. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.